caution. Whistle starts. He switches sides, goes to that left side chop. Griffin doing a great job keeping pressure forward. Look how he's digging his right toe into the ground, driving pressure forward into that shoulder. Switch to the tight waist, chops on the right-hand side this time. And in a little bit of a scramble here. Goes far ankle, does Griffin. And looks like he's giving up a reversal, and he almost, no, just gets an escape out of it. Great job scrambling out of the position by Eli Griffin. 2-on-1 again now for Moran. And good hard snap there to enter the tie for Griffin. Snap down into a level change for Griffin now. Collar tie for Moran. He's trying to hold on to that right hand, that shooting hand of Griffin. I can't blame him. Good hard collar tie into that 2-on-1 again for Moran. And I know, Coach Moore has made a major emphasis on top wrestling, and they thought it was a false start. No caution though. Lift and big return there for Griffin. Crowd loves mat returns. And back ankle ride there into a bar, and he loses him. So riding time up to 149 for Griffin. Score is 7-2 right now. And it's snap. He's going to have to get to a leg attack. He can't stop wrestling here. There's a nice little pull into a single leg. Well defended. It's a good down block. Got a shoulder in the way. Left hand over tie, like a little wrap tie there for Griffin. And thumb block into a 2-on-1 now. And 2-on-1 for Moran. And back into that front headlock. This is dangerous here. Or actually, he's got a chest wrap. Couple more options from this position. If you kind of learn how to navigate the position. Whistle starts us. About 37 seconds left here in the second period. And single leg now for Moran. Shelves it on the near hip. Shoulders it down. Eli Griffin doing a good job of kind of keeping weight heavy on that lock. Brings it back down to the mat. That is going to pay dividends for him here. Tries to pick the far ankle there. And Griffin gets the foot back down on the mat. And like I said, he's going to have to deal with the fact that his lead is kind of dwindling here. He has 149 of riding time built up so far, so he'll have all of about 49 seconds to get out. That would put it at 8-2. Would need a takedown for a major. Moran goes optional start and then decides to kick him after all. So 8-2 is the score. There's a double, and he gets a takedown. Here comes Moran. Score now 8-5. And Moran gonna cut him again, 9-5. There's a down block for Griffin. And there's a stall call provoked as Moran kind of backed out of bounds. And that's a tough position, I get it. He wanted a fresh start, but here's the thing. There's a single leg attempt for Griffin. See if he can hold on here. 1:17 left on the clock. And collar tie for Moran. I don't know if I'd be in there. There's a down block and attempt at a go behind. There's a body lock and hands touched into a roll, no score. There it is, there's a takedown. So the score now is 12-5, 7 points is the difference, but with the riding time going up, he might be able to catch a major here if he can hold him down for 48 seconds. Now where he has, I don't know about it if I'd use the word goofed, but where he's kind of strayed from that top position is when he went a little too aggressively towards pinning combinations. With 43 seconds left, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't try to hang on to him and just ride him. There's a rear standing position now. This is a big point, and he cut him. There's that position again into a single leg. I think the CBU staff. There's another down block to a go behind. He's got him on his back almost. And another 3 points makes it 15-6. He's getting the crowd going. Short time on the clock, and that's pretty much the way it'll end. It'll get another escape out of it, but Eli Griffin wins by a score of 16-7, picks up a major. All right, folks, 149 pounds coming at you. Paul Kelly for the Lancers will be taking on Anthony Bahl for the Hoosiers. Kelly has an extremely aggressive style. There's an underhook, and he is great from those hooks. And down into a front headlock. I hate to say, oh, there's a 2 unders. He lifts him up, almost gets him over, and Kelly brings him to his back. Takedown for sure, looking for backs. 3 points only for Paul Kelly as he ducks under 2 underhooks and muscles Bahl over to the mat. Kelly has both boots in hand, and now his head's in. They go out of bounds. That is a Paul Kelly pace, folks. And again, you heard all the accolades as Kelly was being introduced. Comes from a storied program at Poway High School, Poway, California, just a little way down the road. And 3-time state place winner, state finalist last year. Fargo All-American 7 times. Like I said, these guys here in Riverside are extremely happy to get a hold of a kid like this. It's the kind of kid that can change the trajectory of a program. You put him in the room with a Nathan Tomasello and Coach Morrill. And there's a roll for Bahl. Rear standing and lift, and Granby again as they return. So pulls him back into a crab ride. Kelly doing a good job keeping him in the pocket right now. And he's starting to scoot out. Getting close now to a figure four with that leg. He's got to be careful. Grabbing his own foot. And crossface into a reversal for Bahl. If it's not a reversal, it will be soon. Well, maybe not. Maybe it'll just get loss of control. Because he has to be on a hip in order to, yeah, there it is. There's a 2-point reversal. So score now 3-2 for Kelly over Bahl with 47 seconds left in the period. 1:46 for the riding time is in favor of Kelly. So that clock will start going down soon. Kelly got just a little bit high with those boots in. Rear standing again, and good little lift and return there for Bahl. Bahl goes cross body ride into a bar arm, and Bahl seems very happy to be in this top position. Lift and kick and return. Paul Kelly fighting hands there, trying to get up. Bahl doing a great job of getting pressure forward. Catches a foot now. Kelly reaching for a leg. I'm not sure that'll help. 17 seconds left here in the first. And ankle scooped there for Bahl. And he's fighting hands in that squat position, but runs out of time. So it will be Kelly's choice. He defers. Bahl chooses down. Let's see if Kelly can make an adjustment, keep his hips mirroring the hips of Anthony Bahl. There's that. Oh, wow. Great little, I call it a Martinez roll because Isaiah Martinez was incredible at it. And it's effectively a cartwheel. And he's getting not just a reversal, but some back points now. Bahl is putting himself in a position to get a fall. He gets it. And Anthony Bahl scores a fall with 1:36 left on the clock in the second period. And like I said, Bahl was real happy to be in that top position. All right, folks, 157 pounds. Jeremy Ginter coming out. He's a freshman from Ohio. Sibley East High School. He'll be taking on Bryce Lowery, also a freshman, redshirt freshman there from Indianapolis. And Ginter level changes hard into a single leg, loses it though. And Lowery content to take the stalemate. There's a single leg attempt again. Now the front headlock here. Underhook and sort of a chin. He had a little bit of an overhook on that far side. Ginter, excuse me, tries to go to the leg. Can't quite get a bite on it. So Jeremy Ginter has stabbed twice at that lead leg of Lowery. Hasn't gotten a lock on it yet, though. Looks like he's trying to time those hands well enough. If he can get a beat on him. There's a nice little re-attack by Lowery. Might make Ginter think a little bit more about taking those shots so errantly. There's a nice little leg attack for Lowery now into a shin whizzer. There's a Jonesy roll coming, maybe. I don't think so. Hips are down pretty well. He's really tugging on that. And officials taking a good hard look at it, making sure they don't stop moving, but he's working for it. Hips going, hips going, hips going, almost. He might be able to go backwards on it. And he's trying. Lost the shin whizzer, and now he's goes to a near ankle, kicking at the armpit, and collects both ankles, and that's a three-pointer for Lowery. He just weathered the storm there a little bit and was just letting Ginter kind of tool around on that leg. Great job. That was really, really heads-up wrestling by Bryce Lowery. Kind of knew when he was in bad position with that Jonesy roll position. Hip down, weathered the storm, came out with a takedown. Lowery heavy on the right-hand side. Rear standing now. Goes back trip and kicks him. So 3-1 the score. Riding time only at about 12 seconds. There's a nice little stab again, and he pays for it. Back in on the leg is Lowery. Back to that shin whizzer is Ginty. This time he gets pressure back onto the head, but it gets cracked back for his trouble. Ginter close to danger, not past 90 yet. Don't forget, danger rule in effect here in college wrestling. And getting close to the edge as well. Ginter tries to reclaim his hips. There's a takedown. I don't know, I might challenge that. No, he waves off his own takedown. It's probably a solid call by the official. And Ginter brings his hips back up, and that'll do it. Second period coming at you. Ginter makes his way to his feet. Lowery kicks him. 19 seconds of riding time. Club hard there for Ginter. And let's see if he can make his way to that lead leg. Lowery's doing a great job of down blocking and getting out of it. There's an ankle pick again. And back to that shin whizzer for Ginter. He's getting heavy on that head again. And he's going back to that Jonesy roll. I don't know that with his hips down like that, he's gonna be able to manipulate. He's getting him over, he's getting close. He's getting his hips up. Lost it though. And now again, Ginter kind of weathers that storm, gets back to his leg attack when he knows he can improve his position. Crotch lock for Ginter. And a takedown as the head pops out for Lowery. So 6-2 the score now. Riding time going up just about 30 seconds. And split step level change tried there for Lowery. And good hard club to enter the tie for Ginter, but he's got to get on his horse. He's got to get to a leg. Low double from space. Great job defending there. Into a short offense position now for Lowery. Elbow is controlled. He's hanging that elbow a little bit low. $20 left in the second period. There's a stab at a leg. Nothing doing, though, for Ginter. There's another one getting closer. He's having a hard time getting past the hands of Lowery.
At the end of the second period, Indiana leads 6-3. You're fired, let's go.
And Ginter gets set in the top position. Looks like he's got a bit of a hamstring problem going on. Flat now for Ginter, and he works that crossface and can't quite hang on to it. Ginter trying to get that left boot in. Lowery making his way up to a quad pod position now. Back down to the mat for Ginter. Third period, 6-3. He's gonna have to get a turn here. Stall call is provoked. And Ginter kits him. So he's gonna need 2 takedowns here. Score is 7-3. Ankle pick into on that leg again and dives underneath. Lowery picks up a takedown. That probably will ice it. 1:06 left to go here in the third period. 10-3 the score. Riding time creeping up just over that minute, so essentially it's going to be 11-3. And nope, he cuts him. So duck under attempt, real solid work there. And if Ginter has any tricks up his sleeve, he might want to pull them out now. Down by 7. Ankle pick. Attempt for Lowery. 20 seconds left to go here. Double leg from space as he clears the tie. And you see the Indiana bench telling Lowery to stay in bounds. Short time on the clock. And foot goes out onto the hardwood, so they'll restart with 1 second left to go. And that'll do it. So
Your winner from Indiana in the 157-pound weight class,
Bryce Lowery takes the win.
Up next in the 165-pound weight class from Indiana, ranked number 16, Tyler Lillard. And for your Lancers is a 4-time Minnesota State finalist with
That brings the, excuse me, that brings the team score up to 9-4.
finalist, under 20 U.S. Open All-American. He's coming over redshirt season with a win over a top 30 ranked opponent. Redshirt freshman from Wentworth, Minnesota, Morton.
Dre Morgan coming to the mat. He'll be taking on Tyler Lillard. And Morton down on a 3-point stance, elbow passes. And level change there for Morton. Goes into an underhook. Lillard tries his best to pull him down into short O. Has an underhook of his own now with the left hand. Morton doing a good job keeping that head buried right. Ooh, there's a set alive snap. And nothing to tear up an elbow quite like an overhook snap. Good on Morton for breaking easy. Level change into a nice little clear of the tie there for Morton. And what we're seeing is the experience of some of these guys. Now, Morton's a redshirt freshman. He got in a couple matches last year. And that type of experience is extremely valuable in this hand fight, especially against Big Ten opponents. You see him kind of doing a better job than, let's say, Ginter did of passing the elbow and getting his opponent's hands off of him. Minute down here in this first period. Still 0-0. Goes double as an approach. Lillard catches it with his face. And goes to an overhook now. Underhook on the right-hand side, excuse me. And, oh, there's a throw by for Morton. If he can throw a boot in, he'd be in good shape, but he chooses to catch the near leg, shelves it on the far side. It's back into the center. Great job here manipulating his way to that single leg. He's got it shelved. Plenty of time on the clock. Not much real estate to work with, though. And front trip goes to the far hip. Can't get a hold of the far leg. Morton doing a good job navigating the backside of the body. And now Lillard goes into full splits on the edge. Nice ankle pick by Lillard. There's a lot of time left on the clock. He's gonna have to score here. Don't get too many of these. And he was happy to go out of bounds on it. Great job defensively by Lillard. There's a slide-by attempt for Lillard. Elbow pass for Morton. Short time on the clock here. Period's going to end 0-0. And it will be CBU's choice. They'll defer. Lillard chooses down. Not only a new look roster here for the Lancers, new look coaching staff as well. Additions of Anthony Tomasello, who won a national title, and Mark Munoz also won a national title. So Lancers are stocked up. Both. Oh, there's a nice little single leg attempt. Can't get both hands on it though. Morton trying to keep weight on that whizzer. Lillard shelves it on the near hip. Now it's in the center. Ooh, potentially dangerous. I'm not sure what was potentially dangerous about that, but I didn't have a great aspect on the arm, so Morton palms at the head and drops down to his left knee now. To his credit, he's done a good job of keeping Lillard off of his legs for the most part. But something tells me that that missed attempt at a single leg on the edge in the first period will come back to bite him. You just don't get too many of those chances. You know, we mentioned the fact that you wrestle in Big Ten opponents, and one of the things that they're known for is being able to hand fight for 7 minutes and keep you on roller skates. Wrist roll into a single leg attempt there for Lillard. There's a stall call against Morton. Inside tie with the right hand from Morton. He's on the edge. Looks like there's a duck under attempt for Lillard. He whizzers hard. And instead of going to the leg, comes up to the head, tries to go cow catcher on it. Short time coming. And that'll do it for the second. So I assume Morton will choose down. Riding time only at 4 seconds, so not much of a factor at all. Whistle starts, and Lillard kicks him free. Now, there's a double leg from the tie, and he goes 2 underhooks. And great job by Morton keeping him in front of him as he makes his way towards the out of bounds. In on a leg now is Lillard. Good hard whizzer, and he switches up to the head again. And that knee's going in a wonky direction, but great job here for Morton to not get taken down. That was an awkward position his foot was in. A little bit of flexibility and grit there for Morton. Gets him out of trouble. And they'll go back to the center, still 1-1. 1:15 left on the clock. And 4-point stance for Lillard, 3-point stance for Morton. Don't forget, Morton does have a stall call. Giving up ground like that with a stall call, coming out of position, is telling the referee you're not really engaging. See if he can pop one of those doubles off. There's a single leg attempt, and back into a front headlock is Lillard. There's a duck under attempt for Morton. Go behind for Lillard. Now a single leg here for Morton. He comes out the back door. He's got him to his behind. And full-on splits. It's not 2 yet. Can't call that 2. Oh, his foot went onto the hardwood. That is some impressive mobility and flexibility in the hips. I'd be in traction for a week. Collar tie now from Morton. Excuse me, for Lillard. Thumb block for Morton. Throw by, body lock, throws it by and gets him right to his back. No score yet, didn't have control. He goes, great job not getting scored on by Morton. Wow, that was close. He knows it too. He knows he escaped one. Let's see if Coach Escobedo for the Hoosiers will burn a challenge. He does not. All right, overtime, 2 minutes, sudden victory, point scored wins. Let's see if that stall call comes into effect here. Down on the mat is Lillard, not letting him in on a leg. Underhook again. This is where he got himself into trouble before. Goes whizzer. And he's going to a funk roll off of that. Danger, and nothing yet. Nothing yet. How many lives does he get? Crossface, and he's gonna have to lift and elevate that leg and wrestle into the position. Or readjust the lock. Rolls it through, nothing yet. Incredible work by Morton to navigate this position without giving up danger or a takedown. They're calling, the CBU coaches are looking for a stalemate. They get it. And Tomasello is imploring Dre Morton, keep your elbows in, please. He's getting an underhook and he's getting real close to scoring. This one might come down to rideouts, folks. Underhook again for Lillard. Underhook now for Morton. Duck under for Lillard. Into a short offense position. Morton grabs the elbow, tries to circle back in towards the inbounds mark. And they're running out of time. There's short time on the clock. That'll do it for the first overtime. Riding time reset. Lillard gets choice, he chooses down. Let's see if Morton can put together a ride now. Neither wrestler has spent much time in the top position in this match. Remember, that stall call could loom if they get to that short or that rear standing position. You know, there's only so many times you can make half-hearted attempts at a mat return before a referee calls you. Boot goes in, and that's another. There's a under-over position now. Lillard gets an escape with 8 seconds of riding time. That may loom large. And trying his best to stay inbounds is Lillard, but he will concede the out of bounds with 7 seconds left on the clock. Morton makes his way slowly back to the center. 7 seconds left. Let's see if he can pull a rabbit out of the hat. And they're content to go into the next stanza. So 8 seconds of riding time. They're letting him know he's got to get out. Lillard set, whistle forward, and he reaches for a leg, hooks his own leg. I don't know why the heck he would do that. He's trying to go for a reversal, I guess. And roll through. And Morton's gonna have to get big here. He's gonna have to go. Drops him. And 3 points on that takedown. He tried to jump over him. So it'll be Lillard, the winner. Tyler Lillard, ranked number 16 in the country at 165 pounds, will be your winner here at 165.
Up next to the 174 from Lakeland, Indiana, Nick South.
12-4 the score. Hoosiers over the Lancers right now.
Joining the Lancers from Iowa State University, redshirt senior from Norwalk, Iowa, Carter Schmidt.
And we talked about some of the transfers for CBU. Here's one of them. Spent some years in Ames. Did Carter Schmidt. And Coach Moran, the CBU Lancers, picked him up out of the portal this past offseason. And South will strike first with a fireman's carry takedown to start the match. And Schmidt makes himself free and scores 3-1. Collar ties here for both athletes. Elbow control for Schmidt. Excuse me. And good hard club on the way out of the tie there for South. There's a level change towards the lead leg for South. Underhooks now. Underhook again for the right-hand side for South. Nick South, also a graduate student from North Vernon, Indiana, Columbus East High School. Back to that control tie now. And Schmidt doing a good job of keeping the elbow in tight to the body. Two unders now. And Schmidt trying to force his way back in bounds. And South pulls him down in a short offense. Square stance for Schmidt. Down at about a minute to wrestle here in the first. And Carter Schmidt looking good in the hand fight, but gave up an early takedown. Now has a 2-point deficit here as clock winds down past 45 seconds. Thumb block with his left hand, trying to keep that underhook out. I see a little bit of a level change in there. Back to that underhook for South. Schmidt trying to go thigh pry, circle his way back into the mat. Short time coming at you here. And that'll do it for the first. 3-1.
At the end of the first period, Indiana
I don't know if you could
3-1.
get eyes on South, but he's having an interesting conversation with the bench about Schmidt's ties, and he's having a hard time getting past him. That's actually pretty illegal. Not the conversation, the starting position. Referee was on the wrong side, didn't see it. And Schmidt makes his way to his feet and probably gonna have to make an attempt at a return. South, look, there's a single leg. Runs corner, does South. Hand on the hip, hand on the elbow here as defense for Schmidt. If you have the shoulder mobility, it's a good way to defend a front headlock. Does take a bit of flexibility in that joint, though. Schmidt set. There's a nice single leg, and I think he's starting to time the hands of South. He's got his hands locked on the leg, and big lift. Wow, he muscled his way through that position. That is not easy. He goes into a cradle, drops back down on the leg, and if he runs corner, he goes out of bounds. He's gonna have to get big again. Great job by, wow, getting to his feet. Great job by Schmidt. He's starting to kick out of bounds, and they're gonna call action on that. I don't know if there was a more egregious way to call a action. I don't know, man. And that, it's not the official's fault. There is a, truth be told, it is a very gray area that they have to work through with stalling on the edge in college wrestling as the rule book is written right now. Underhook attempt again by South. That'll do it for the second.
At the end of the second period, Indiana leads 3-2.
And Schmidt gets to work on top. So thigh pry with his left. Tries to stay under the arms with his right. And can't quite get his hands locked, so he's probably going to cut him. And 7 seconds on the 5 seconds left in riding time for South. Single leg again with the right hand for Schmidt. You gotta think that a stall call is coming here soon, especially if he goes out of bounds on this. Maybe not. Great job by South. Jumping back towards the inbounds, and he chases tail now. No score on the go behind. Great job facing up for Schmidt, and they go out of. Schmidt just got called for stalling. Maybe that was the ref's fault. A little bit of blood time here. I'm still reeling from that stall call, to be honest, folks. I don't know what he could have done better. But what do I know? And we're back at you. Okay. Another shot attempt. There's a single leg by South. Front headlock now for Schmidt. And front headlock again for South. Pulls it down, tries to chase an angle. Can't quite get it. And stalemate call. Ten seconds left here in the third. Back to that front headlock. And I think he's got a bite on the leg. Short time. He's gonna have to chuck it. No can do. So South will come out the winner at that. And after the 174-pound bout, we're gonna go right into halftime. We'll have a little bit of a break here. And if I'm gonna kind of sum up the first 5 bouts for the Lancers, I'd have to say the bane right now has become their inability to get to legs of the Hoosiers. Like, I mean, even if you look at the takedowns that they did get, right? Elijah Griffin gets a big 7-point cow catcher, and Paul Kelly ducks under 2 underhooks, winds up in a scramble for a takedown. But aside from those 2 takedowns, you know, and even including those 2 takedowns, there haven't been a whole lot of leg attack offense by the CBU Lancers. And I think we're going to talk to, I'm going to at least bring it up to Coach Moore here in a little bit. But don't go anywhere, folks. Here's a word from our sponsors.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, you don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
Here at Stater Brothers Markets, we know you're looking for quality. That's why when you shop with us, you'll find an expert behind the meat counter. We stand as one of the only companies to have state-certified meat cutters professionally trained in the science and craft of meat cutting. And only after over 4,000 hours of experience and a 2-year apprenticeship do you become a certified meat cutter. The result? Custom cuts of meat that are tender, juicy, and flavorful. This is our promise to you. Stater Brothers, fresh, affordable, community first.
At Magnolia, we've been around so long because we're always on the cutting edge. Let Magnolia help you modernize your comfort with our new all-electric, ultra-efficient comfort systems. Magnolia Heating and Cooling, trusted in Riverside since 1951.
Ayers is a family of team members passionate about providing a welcoming and comfortable environment to our guests. We do this by offering desirable amenities, such as complimentary full breakfast buffets. You'll find a home-like lobby, clean surroundings, and top-notch service. Ayers is a culture of caring from the moment you check in to the moment you check out. We care. Book your next day with us today.
Whether it's off the dribble, above the rim,
or beyond the arc.
You can count on Provider to get great food on the table. There are 11 locations on campus, so if you run the floor, dominate the paint, or live outside the arc, you can always be sure that our award-winning food is to your liking. Your game drives us to bring our game through curated, chef-driven cuisine, voted #1 wherever you eat with Provider. You can expect our A-game with your meal.
whether
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, you don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
Everybody, we are heading into the 184-pound bout. Score of the dual meet is 15-4. The Indiana Hoosiers are in the lead pretty convincingly. And again, I said it before the break, and if CBU wants to get back in this match, they're going to have to figure out the hand fight of the Hoosiers. And see a couple of these replays here. Eli Griffin goes cow catcher to an inside trip, brings his athlete back down for a 7-pointer. And some solid top work there as well. There you see the defense there. Redshirt junior Eli Griffin. Not quite there, but you get the point. This is the one that I stick.
CBU is hosting wrestling summer camps that offer commuter and overnight options to young wrestlers looking to expand their knowledge of the sport and get better faster. Follow us on Instagram at CBU Wrestling for more details. Want to meet a Lancer wrestler? Well, tonight you can.
There's Paul Kelly's takedown from the duck under position. And this is kind of where he lost that top position. Gave up a reversal. Went straight down to some back points and a fall.
Join the Junior Lancers Kids Club today for just $35. As a member, your child will receive an exclusive CBU blanket.
Look, again, I was just talking to somebody during the break, and it's difficult to win matches at the NCAA level if you're unable to get to legs. And it's not for a lack of trying. You just see some of these guys being slightly baffled by the ability of the Hoosiers to keep their hands on the head, shoulders, and neck of the wrestlers. So as we go into 184 pounds, 5 bouts left, Let's see if Coach Moore can talk to these guys about getting past the head-hands defense of their opponents. Easier said than done, folks. As it turns out, the Big Ten can wrestle. And there you see Schmidt making his way from all the way from his chest and on a single leg. And South chases tail. This is the stall call that I thought was somewhat maybe now looking back on it, maybe it was. Maybe he did take a big old step backwards, but either way, we're gonna go right to a commercial here, folks.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, I don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
Here at Stater Brothers Markets, we know you're looking for quality. That's why when you shop with us, you'll find an expert behind the meat counter. We stand as one of the only companies to have state-certified meat cutters professionally trained in the science and craft of meat cutting. And only after over 4,000 hours of experience and a 2-year apprenticeship do you become a certified meat cutter. The result? Custom cuts of meat that are tender, juicy, and flavorful. This is our promise to you. Stater Brothers, fresh, affordable, community first.
At Magnolia, we've been around so long because we're always on the cutting edge. Let Magnolia help you modernize your comfort with our new all-electric, ultra-efficient comfort systems. Magnolia Heating and Cooling, trusted in Riverside since 1951.
Ayers is a family of team members passionate about providing a welcoming and comfortable environment to our guests. We do this by offering desirable amenities, such as complimentary full breakfast buffets. You'll find a home-like lobby, clean surroundings, and top-notch service. Ayers is a culture of caring from the moment you check in to the moment you check out. We care. Book your next stay with us today.
Whether it's off the dribble, above the rim,
or beyond the arc.
You can count on Provider to get great food on the table. There are 11 locations on campus, so if you run the floor, dominate the paint, or live outside the arc, you can always be sure that our award-winning food is to your liking. Your game drives us to bring our game through curated, chef-driven cuisine, voted #1 wherever you eat with Provider. You can expect our A game with your meal.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, I don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Riverside, California. Indiana Hoosiers visiting the CBU Lancers, and we are about to start the 184-pound bout.
Representing Indiana at 184 pounds, Sam Goin. And for your Lancers, a two-time California State champion and Fargo finalist, under 23 World Team Trials bronze medalist. He is currently ranked number 27 in the nation. Bradshaw Jr. from North California, Nathan.
All right, folks. Nathan Haas, number 27 ranked in the country. And I mentioned it in the pre-show, he has got some explosive stuff from the neutral position. You know, big double legs from space, hand fights hard. You know, hopefully he kind of sets the tone for the rest of this dual meet for the Lancers, excuse me. And with a square stance, you're going to probably watch Haas. Nice re-attack there. And two collar ties here. And again, one of the things that Haas is going to look to do is square Goins' feet up and drop in on that double. Whether he does it with motion or with hand fighting. Great down block there by Haas. There's a single leg stab, and didn't mean much of it, but he did get him off that collar tie. So over tie for Haas. Goin digs in for a hook on the left side, loses it though. And you hear the CBU bench. There's a shot at that double. Wraps up one leg and can't quite get the other one. And now almost a takedown, can't quite get it. And they'll go back to the center, no change. So about a minute 10, minute 11 to go. The only leg attack coming from Goin. Over tie again with a thumb block. There's a little misdirection single leg for Goin. Shin whizzer for Haas. He turns the head back in and gives up a takedown. And he'll get to work on top while Goin. Switch position here for Haas. Kind of gets it. He's got him. No reversal. And gets a loss of control escape. So 7 seconds of riding time built up for Goin as we wind down the first. Scores 3-1, Goin over Haas.
At the end of the first period, Indiana leads 3-1.
And Haas chooses down, so second period will start on the mat, as it usually does. And switch position again for Haas. Frees himself, makes it 3-2, 14 seconds of riding time. Now, if I remember correctly from last season, Haas wasn't terribly adept in the top position. So, and there's a nice leg attack. Head goes to the outside. Goin has a bit of an angle. If he can switch his head to the inside, Haas might be in some business here, but as of right now, great shot. There he goes. Finds his way head to the inside, and he'll be happy to take a stalemate after giving up that position. So, as I was saying before that leg attack, Haas, didn't put a tremendous amount of effort in top position last season. So you would think he'd have to get busy in the neutral position here if he wants to win this bout. Nice little re-attack for Goin. There's a kind of misdirection, heads to the outside, climbing and can't get a hold of it. Haas keeping that pace high. I will say this, his pace has definitely picked up since last year. Single leg, and nice job by Goin to down block and sprawl on that. Down around 30 seconds left here in the second period. Haas starting to pick up the amount of leg attacks he's taken. There's a elbow pass to a single leg. Couldn't get a hold of it. Wrap tie with his left. There's now, look, he's getting him to bite really, really hard on those level changes and shots. Something tells me he's going to have to make an adjustment and start snapping that head down when he gets to the position that he wants. So, Goin chooses down. 14 seconds of riding time in Goin's favor. So, it will take some doing in Haas's department to get that down. So 1 point escape brings it to 4-2 now. Riding time not a factor at all, is 9 seconds. Underhook, far ankle pick into a single leg. Shin whizzer now for Haas, spins out and Goin loses the leg. Good D for Haas. And again, he's going to bite on those half shots. He's going to have to move his hands back to the head a little bit sooner if he wants to snap him down and get a takedown. Single leg attempt for Haas. Go behind into another little spin move for Haas. There's a double leg. Oh, timed that post perfectly. He's gonna have to get busy here. 39 seconds left. Goin knows that the shots are coming. He's gonna wait on it. Stall call on red. Single leg. He's got his hands locked. Does he have the juice to finish this? 19 seconds left. He'll get a stalemate because of the lack of motion. And Haas taking his sweet time getting back to the center. He knows he's got a sprint here for this last 30 or last 20. Short time coming, 12 seconds left. Haas is gonna have to go big. Single leg, catches the ankle. Gotta come up, sits him to his butt. Split position, 2 seconds left. He's got it, oh, no he doesn't. No takedown. Rolled right at the last second. Dig going, wow. That one stings a little bit if you're a Lancer fan.
Your winner of the 184-pound weight class from Indiana, Sam Goin.
Great effort there at the end for Haas, but Goin, let's take a look at that last takedown attempt. In on the single leg, and he cuts him back to his butt, almost covers that second leg. Goes limp arm on the whizzer, and Goin rolls. And truth be told, they had if they had 10 more seconds left, I'm sure he would have scored, but that's a big old if now, isn't it? And here we go, 197 pounds. Short drag there for Eli Sheeran. And front headlock into a single leg. He went out onto the hardwood. Got to get a second mat there, folks. And Gabe Solers here for the Hoosiers, excuse me. Solers is injured already. I think it's his hip. He's pointing at his hip or his rib. I'm not 100% sure. Good to see Chad Red back in college wrestling. My favorites to watch, that's for sure. Nebraska, Cornhusker in his college days. All right. And so Sheeran will start in the down position because he had choice because of Solar's injury time. He might be. Well, there's a nice little crossbody ride by Solers. And Sheeran flat on his stomach here. This is a tough position to be in. Crossbody ride. Guys just torquing on every limb on your body. And Solers gets that foot over. And he's going to wind up getting some swipes out of this. I can't believe the official hasn't called it yet, but maybe he's got a better angle. And Solers getting to work and gets a fall. Solers with the fall in the first. The official, or Sheeran, looking rather baffled. He might have been out.
Your winner of the 197-pound weight class from Indiana, Gabe Solers. Up next in the heavyweight. For your Lancers, he's a former All-American, two-time Massachusetts state champion, and two-time NHSGA All-American. Ranger Jr. from Elton, Massachusetts, Tristan Kemp.
All right, folks. Heavyweights coming at you. Tristan Kemp for the Lancers. Jacob Bullock for the Indiana Hoosiers. And nice shot there by Bullock. And they go out of bounds, so. And nice little snap down there into a leg attack for Bullock. He gets big and readjusts, gets a better lock on it. Kemp's gonna go backwards on it. He better go quick, because, oh, nice defense there. He's got a front headlock, and he fought that off pretty well. I thought he was darn near dead to rights. And Kemp goes club on the left-hand side. Tries to attack the right hand of Bullock. Now Bullock has a 2-on-1. Heavy snap there off the 2-on-1 for Bullock. And chest-to-chest position here for Kemp. He reaches down for a thigh price. Foot sweep position. I like that. Haven't seen a foot sweep in a heavyweight match since Steve Mocco. 2-on-1 now for Bullard. Changes it to a key lock. He's grabbing his own wrist. He goes heavy on it as they go towards the out of bounds. Kemp circles his way back in. Let's see if either of these guys can use that. Oh, there's a stall call. And Kemp let him know about it too. 2-on, nope, excuse me. Thought he was gonna go 2-on-1 off of that post. And Kemp staying in good position. About halfway through this first period now. Two-on-1 now for Kemp switches it to an underhook, does Kemp. Down in that chin and hook position. And he's bringing him towards the out of bounds just to get a reaction out of him. All right, you bring him towards the out of bounds. He's got to force his way back in. And that's when you go on it. Nice shot again by Bullock. He has a front headlock, and he's pulling on him, brings him towards that out of bounds, gets that force back in. Good hips by Kemp to recover position, and he's chasing an angle, but they'll go out of bounds. They run out of real estate, so still no score with 30 seconds left here in the first period. And snap down again for Bullock. And that'll do it for the first. So still got goose eggs here.
The score is tied at 0.
And Bullock makes his way to his feet. And big mat return. Let's see if he's got another one in him. That is not easy work. Great job on the mat return by Kemp. He is getting some work in. Do it again. Yeah, one more. Fans love mat returns, folks. And riding time just at about a minute here. And back to that rear standing position. Switches to the leg, does Bullock, but can't quite get to it. So Kemp doing a great job of riding here in the second period. Staying on top. And finally cuts himself, does Bullock. So we'll go back to the neutral position. Bullock hearing it from the Lancer faithful, excuse me.
At the end of the second period, Indiana leads 1-0.
Bullock gets set on top. Kemp makes his way to his feet. And he cuts him, so 1:15 of riding time, and the crowd knows it. Kemp doing a good job of staying in good position and in the face of Bullock. And Kemp pursuing, even though he's essentially up by one, he's still pursuing. not putting himself in bad position, staying in good position, but certainly making sure that the official knows that he is not trying to stall this thing out. And collar tie here is, if you're Kemp, that's where you want to live. You want to keep that elbow low, right below the chin, if you can help it. And down under a minute now. He's got that front headlock, and he's going to walk him towards the out of bounds, wait for a reaction. But Bullock does a good job of pulling that wrist. Good snap and circle by Bullock. Single leg for Bullock. Couldn't get a hold of it. Great job in staying in position by Kemp. 22 seconds left. He's got a bite on a leg now. And he's going towards the out of bounds, and he gives it up right at the edge. One neutral brings it 4-3. Right? They might go into overtime here. No, 4-1, son of a gun. So, 4-2 is the score right now. And that will do it. Bullock did a great job of getting to that high single. He spent 6 minutes and 55 seconds trying to get to it. And finally able to convince himself to take that shot and finish it there on the edge. Mitch Niner coming to the mat here. And we are underway here at 125 pounds. And Moran gets the call for the Hoosiers. Nice single leg attempt for Moran. Good front headlock here for Niner. Elbow pass. And wrist control on the right-hand side for Niner. Here's a stab and an ankle pick for Moran. Ankle pick again for Moran, and this time he gets a hold of it. Good position for Moran, gets a takedown, and a 3-0 lead. And quick escape there for Niner, and going towards the out of bounds. And again, this is what we talked about a little earlier. Lancer's having a real hard time getting the legs tonight. And back to the center we go from a stalemate position. Collar tie for Moran. You see Moran doing a real good job kind of moving Niner in that collar tie, trying to set up that cross ankle pick. There's a nice little snap down to a leg attack. Single leg attempt for Niner, couldn't get there. Elbow control now for Niner. Duck under attempt, can't quite get behind though. Got underneath the arms, but that's only half the trouble. There's the motion that's the type of motion that Niner, and if we're going to be honest, the rest of those Lancer freshmen have to start doing. There's an ankle pick for Moran. It's that level change into a snap and then wrestling off of that position. There it is. He's starting to feel it, and you can see it. He's going, okay, I'm getting a reaction when I level change and snap, not just snap. Down under 10 now, 3-1 the score. And that'll do it for the first.
At the end of the first period, Indiana leads 3-1.
Heavy on the right-hand side for Niner. Picks up the ankle, can't quite get it off the mat though. Quick escape there for Moran. Moran cautiously stalks, and now once he gets into that tie position that he likes, switches to a left foot lead. There's a duck under for Moran, solid work. No score yet, back in a scramble, and they go out of bounds. That is a close call there at the edge. Let's just put it that way. Single leg four. There's first time on a leg, and he's paying for it. Moran has the leg hooked, and that'll be 3. Niners still holding on to that leg, I think. I'm not sure why. Good job with the leg in here for Moran. Takes it out now, goes claw ride. And Moran switches back to that spiral to the left. And great job catching that bottom leg. Moran keeping that clock ticking in his favor. Riding time getting close to a minute, about 53 seconds as we speak, or as I speak and you listen. And that'll do it for the second period. So 102 of riding time and a 7-1 lead for Jacob Moran of Indiana. Third period coming at you. Niner chooses the neutral position. He's going to have to get busy here. Nice little single leg attempt. Cuts it back, but can't score it. So we're back to that hand fight. And there's a slide by into an ankle pick, and he catches one leg, can't quite get a hold of the second one. Switches from the head back to the leg for a takedown, does Moran, and 10-1, 10-2 now the score. And snap down into a leg attack again for Moran. He sits him to his behind. He's ringing it up now, 13-2. See if he goes for a attack. Cross body ride into a far side far side bar. And he's got it pretty darn tight. You start getting that elbow off the mat, you're doing all right. And he's got that bar now. See if he tilts it or runs it. Oh, he lost it. I guess that was an option as well. Down under 15 again. Niner set, and Moran gives a optional start, tries to go near side cradle. Niner felt it. And that'll do it, folks. 133 pounds coming up. This one should be interesting. Hunter Leak and Angelo Reeni. And the match is quite out of reach for the Lancers, 31-4 so far for the Hoosiers.
And for the Lancers, a California State finalist with multiple wins over nationally ranked wrestlers. He's the highest Big 12 placer in program history and a 2024 NCAA qualifier. Junior from Buchanan High School, Hunter
Leak coming to us from the Central Valley area of California. And solid all-around wrestler. There's a double from space for Reeni, and he goes back into a cement job and gives up the takedown quickly. Boot coming in on the left-hand side for Reeni. Good job making his way to his feet, his Leak, and he gets out of bounds, and a one-point escape. It was close. Probably a solid call by the official. And you've seen just the motion of Reeni really keeping Leak on his heels, especially early on. When he goes to make contact, Reeni level changes, and it is, at this point in the match, stifling any of the offense that Leak might want to put together. Snap down, go behind, roll through, takedown for Reeni, and right into a turn. So if you think of single legs as, there's a suck back. There's a attempt at a leg by Leak, sits the corner, has the shoulder popped, does Reeni, and he wrestles hard right towards the edge. Great job by Reeni to stand top position there. But as I was saying, if you think of that neutral position and you think of, like, let's say a misdirection single, that was more of a misdirection snap down. Most times when you move your feet to the left and snap down, you continue going to the left, but Reeni did a great job of snapping left and going right, and it was a pretty easy takedown for the Indiana Hoosier. There's a escape for Leak, brings it up to 6-2. 110 of riding time built up so far for Reeni. And I will say this, there's a nice little single leg attempt and re-attack by Reeni. Leak does a good job of attacking off of that. And Reeni's level change has seemed to slow there. And there's a single leg. He brings him towards the out of bounds. Reeni trying to go crotch lock. Leak's gonna have to put him on his back here with 21 seconds left if he wants to score. And maybe not. Maybe he can build his base. Rolls it through, does Reeni. And great job by Reeni defending there with short time on the clock. He's probably going to save himself a takedown here. And he does. Excellent work by Reeni. But it looks as though Leak is starting to figure out the head, hands, and motion of Reeni. Leak defers. Reeni chooses down. Leak's tough on top. See if he can eat away at that riding time built up so far. And heavy towards the right-hand side. It's hard to see that from that angle, but he was ready for that whistle. Great job blocking out by Reeni, and a trip return for Leak. Leak does a good job of staying across the body, keeping pressure going from right hip to left shoulder. That is, hey, he's got a cradle lock. And probably going to call a stall call here in 5 seconds if he doesn't let go of the leg. And I get it. Your best position is top. You want to give yourself a position to win. You got to give up that stall call. That's a wise decision there by Leak. And a caution on Leak. I don't know if he jumped or they're saying he was set incorrectly, I believe. And again, watch that pressure going from hip to shoulder. Seatbelt position, and Leak, he's not in great position right now, but I've seen him work out of worse. Reeni trying to switch his hips and not give up back points. And great job by Leak. He is so stingy in that position. Goes far ankle now. 44 seconds left, and riding time creeping up for the green now. Leak does a good job of pulling that arm back, tries to get a bar. He's not just riding here, folks. He's trying to score. Goes bar, and Reeni doing a good job of hanging on to his own ankle and not go over. That's pretty impressive. 20 seconds left. Now, here's the question. Does Leak take bottom? Might take top. Great job on the switch there. Brings him back down to the mat. And Leak looks like he'll spend the entire second period on top and have 49 seconds of riding time built up. Leak does choose bottom. It's probably the right call. He gave up a couple takes, but and boot comes in, swim move by Leak. He's going to probably roll. Oh, both boots in now. And Reeni getting to work on top, bringing that riding time back down under 30 seconds now. Half on the right-hand side. Sneaky toe over on the left. He can figure for that leg, expose the hips. You're in business. But not only that, he's just eating up clock. Now this stall call, I was just about to say, this puts the official in a unenviable position to have to do something about that position. He has to either call somebody for stalling or call a stalemate. And that's a tough call. I will say this. If we reward people for riding and then penalize them for riding, it can sometimes be counterintuitive, to say the least. He's got the boot in, And Leak tries to switch off, but can't, so he'll take an escape for his trouble. 6'4", 21 seconds of riding time, so that is not a factor. Takedown does win it here if he can ride out. 40 seconds left. Single leg attempt for Leak. It's double here for Reeni, and he puts him to his behind. Leak's gonna have to roll through on this. There's 30 seconds left. And he almost recovers his hips, and they'll get a stalemate with 25 ticks left on the clock in the dual meet. Low single attempt. Snap down for Leak. It does have a stall call. It won't make a difference, though. There's another shot for Leak as they go towards the out of bounds. And down under 10, he goes right into that cement job. And, tries to get to the far hip, can't quite get it. That will do it, folks. Angelo Reeni from Indiana wins the last bout of the evening. And the score at the end of this bout is 34-4 in favor of the Hoosiers. The sole win for the Lancers coming by the way of Eli Griffin at 141 pounds, first bout of the night. And like I said, it wasn't for a lack of effort. Lancers are fighting hard. They got to find a way to get to leg attacks. I'm sure Coach Moore will address this issue, and they'll come back even stronger soon. My name is Mike Melanconico. Thank you so much for tuning in here in Riverside, California. See you.